what defines success. Okay, and success, I've worked, you can see the teams on the last slide, I've worked for a lot of different organizations, a lot of different levels. Organizational philosophies, they may differ from team to team, from general managers to scouts, to players, to agents, to parents. Everyone has a different interpretation of what success is. Is it based solely on wins and losses? As a player, is it, a lot of times if you ask a player, especially at the high school level or youth level, how'd you play? Well, I played sweet. I had 3 goals and 2 assists, but the team lost 6-5. And maybe he did score 3 goals, had 2 assists, but he also was at fault for 5 or 6 against. So it may be misconstrued. As a goalie, is it shutouts? Is what's more important, individual growth or is it team success? And at the American League level, there's a fine balance between winning and developing, because at the end of the day, our job is to develop players so that they get to the NHL. That's why we're here. Obviously, if you continue to grow as individuals, your team success should follow suit, but there's some organizations where that's not always the case. There's some teams in the American League where they go out and spend a ton of money on older veteran players and they want to win at all costs, and the younger players don't develop. That's just a different philosophy. Is it short-term progress versus long-term sustainability? We need our younger players to gain experience in key points of games. Like if you're coaching high school and you have 8 seniors on your team and 2 freshmen, you're going to graduate those 8 seniors and expect your players next year, those 2 freshmen who got minimal experience, to be effective. I think you're going to find yourselves disappointed. So it's how you define success and then moving forward. So how do you define success? Okay, first of all, as a group, I love the cartoon here, that if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So there's so many measurables out there, all these artificial intelligence things that break games down. You need to find out what's important to you as your staff, as applicable to a player. What are the 3 to 5 things that are important to you to evaluate a player, to evaluate your group? And that's collectively as a team, that's individually, and as a coaching staff. It's your job, once you've made those, you've identified those characteristics, it's your job to hold them to that standard. And you can't let it slide. Role recognition and expectations of players. A very skilled, smaller forward may be evaluated, rated a little bit different than a big, heavy, defensive-minded defenseman. It's just different roles recognition. So it's important to have those conversations with players so that they know what success is. And it's not just goals and assists. It might be a lot of different variables, which I'll get to in a second here, but it has to be data-driven. It can't just be because I said so, or this is what we saw, this is what it's important to have those numbers to back up. Common individual goals. If you ask a player, what kind of year do you want to have? They're probably like, I'd like to have 20 goals, 20 assists, 40 points. I'd like to lead the team plus minus. Goalie, I want to have 10 shutouts. I want to be the team MVP. Those are all very generic, but very empty. And I found when you ask kids that, even at the American League level, that's kind of their goals. Very rarely do you hear someone say, I want to lead the team in block shots. I want to lead the team in the number of turnovers created. I want to lead the team in some ancillary, what some would consider an ancillary kind of category, where these are kind of generic. What we've done is, as our staff on different teams I've worked for, is identifying there's some other variables that are way more significant that you can still find and apply to individual chances for, chances against. Whether or not you're generating offense, are you giving up offense, are you managing the puck, turnovers, shots blocked, face-up percentage. To me, that is one of the biggest measurables to evaluate a player and evaluate a team, because it's the only time in a hockey game it happens between 60 and 80 times a game where the game is stagnant. It's stationary. Starting with the centerman, it's a one-on-one battle. And then it might turn into a 50-50 puck battle right on the line, squirted up behind the centerman. Now it becomes another 50-50 battle. So those are little things. Did you win those little 50-50 races? Did you win those puck battles? Penalties. Did you draw penalties because you were moving your feet? Did you take penalties because you were not moving your feet? Those are just a few things that we use to apply with our players so that we can find what's important to evaluate them.